This is Frank Islam, Chairman and CEO of FY Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics and explore the topics of current interest that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Dr. Anand, the Dean of the Smith School of Business at the University of Maryland. He'll be discussing a very hot topic and good topic these days, is the nexus between entrepreneurship, innovation, and education. Thank you very much for coming to the show, Dr. Anand. Appreciated that very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice seeing you. You are the dean of the top 25 business schools in the United States. In the current economic crisis, where are your graduates being placed?
Yeah,
they're not going to financial institution, are they?
Well, actually, some are trying to get into financial institutions, but it has been a very difficult year to place our graduates, especially the MBA graduates. Many of them are going to the usual companies in the Greater Washington area, but many of them are also going into startups and also thinking of doing their own startup companies.
Being an entrepreneur.
Yes, that's something that we encourage them to do, but this year they almost are doing it because that's one of the best choices that they have.
Great, and this is the startup company you're talking about. It could be anywhere, technology areas, business area, any areas?
I think right now they can be in any areas, but the hottest areas are certainly in technology, but they're also in health and healthcare related things. They're also in what we call sustainable industries, meaning things that have to do with energy efficiency and green technology.
Those are good stuff these days.
Yeah, especially with Obama's
yes, all the stimulus package you're talking about.
Right.
That gets me to into the entrepreneurship. I have been an entrepreneur for a long time,
right,
and everyone has a desire and drive and dream to become an entrepreneur. It's the sheer thrill and challenge and rewarding to be an entrepreneur and also to start something from scratch,
right,
and building it to huge enterprise.
Right.
What is your school doing in this area of entrepreneurship education in the business school to educate the kids that are going to a business school right now at the University of Maryland?
Right. So at the Smith School of Business, we take entrepreneurship very seriously, entrepreneurship education as well. So we have something called the Dingman Center on Entrepreneurship, and in that center, they encourage students all the way from, as we say, ideas on a napkin to getting investments from investment bankers. So we have students, for example, every Friday, like for example right now, they come to the Dingman Center and they pitch their ideas, and about starting
to the real investor?
No, this particular round on Friday is to a group of people we call entrepreneurs in residence.
Okay.
And they go through this, they pitch these ideas, and at the end of the morning session, one or two of them actually get a little bit of seed money, all the way from $500 to $2,000 to pursue their ideas. Okay, so that's
to
the first
pursue their
round.
dream.
Pursue their dream. And then the second part is that once that thing is done over a period of about 6 months, we collect the best of those students and the best of those ideas, and then we train them on how to write business plans and how to basically go after larger investment dollars. And we set up something called a capital access network, where we bring angel investors and potential investment bankers and connect them up with these more mature startup ideas and try to get them connected and get funding. So that process also leads to a few real investments. And then eventually, at the end of the year, we have a large competition for the best of those ideas. And
those are the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop. And they get a few tens of thousands of dollars of startup investment money. We find, for example, I'm sure you heard of this company called Under Armour, very famous company. It's a many $100 million company started by a guy called Kevin Plank. He's one of our alumni, and he started his ideas while he was at the University of Maryland.
Wow. Well, lots of ideas. Microsoft, Dell, Facebook, they all started from school, as you all know.
Exactly.
The last 20 years was the age of digital technology. From a business perspective, how do you see the next 20 years evolving?
I think the next 20 years, there's going to be a lot of activity in the industries that I spoke about. Two things. One is in health and healthcare related industries, including pharmaceuticals and perhaps some biotech. The other area is areas that I call sustainable technologies, which is all the way from efficient motors for the automobile industry, green building materials, things that will improve the environment, and so on. So that's going to be the next wave of technological innovation.
Environment and clean energy.
Right.
Those are two hot topics these days.
Exactly. And what we say at the Smith School of Business is that doing good can be profitable.
Well, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. Given what you said about sustainability about a minute ago and the current economic crisis that we're facing right now, is there a future? I'm talking about Indian information technology and biotech enterprises.
Yes, I mean, what's happening, especially because of the global crisis and also the crisis in the United States, companies are still now looking to find out the most cost-effective and efficient way of doing their internal information technologies and also using technology as a way to really have a global reach. So I really feel that the Indian companies are going to be doing fairly well, and there's a little downturn right now, but that's going to turn around, I'm sure, in the next few years. In fact, today's newspaper says that India is coming out of the recession faster than even the United States. Biotechnology is a little more tricky because it's always been a high-risk industry. And
so there's a lot of rules and regulations?
Part of it is because of government rules and regulations. Part of it is that there has been a lot more, I would say, optimism than the results have shown to be. So the biotech industry is going to have its ups and downs. But what is very clear is that a lot of pharmaceutical and biotech manufacturing is going to be also done in places like India. For example, Biocon is just the leading edge of a whole bunch of new companies that are going to be doing well in India as well.
Well, the biggest obstacle that I see, and I have talked to a lot of people here, the FDA approval.
Right.
I mean, it takes forever to get it done.
Right.
As I understand from FDA people, they've opened an office there in part of India and China to facilitate that. Have you seen any kind of things that's happening that is speeding up this process?
No, but I'm waiting because
you're waiting.
Yeah, because Obama has been speaking about how he wants to make the healthcare industry much more efficient, much more cost effective, and one of the biggest obstacles, as you say, is that the length of time it takes to get FDA approval. And so what happens is that the incumbent pharmaceutical and biotech companies have a big advantage because by the time a new drug gets approved, that's 10 to 15 years down the road, and so they are able to really corner the market. So to really get better and faster innovations in the biotech industry, the government has to speed up this regulatory process. So I'm hoping that the new president will put his money where his mouth is and really try to improve the FDA approval process.
What kind of thing your business school has been involved in terms of reaching out to the community in India and China and another part of the South Asia where you're from, and both of us shared a common history and heritage in that, in terms of reaching out to those people and bringing them over here and so on and so forth. I mean, they have a source of resources for you and for this country for a long, long time.
Absolutely. Our business school actually has done a lot. We have a annual business plan competition in China. In China, where we encourage young entrepreneurs to do something, all the things that I mentioned to you about what we do here, we are trying to do it in China as well. And that's pretty popular. We do it now in conjunction with BEDA, which is the largest kind of business school in China.
In China?
Yeah. In India...
What about India?
India, we're just emerging. We're just starting to have a partnership with the Management Development Institute in Gurgaon.
Yes.
And we are going to try to come up with a MBA degree with a focus on entrepreneurship.
Oh, I think it's a wonderful thing to do.
As you can see, the Smith School really takes entrepreneurship very seriously.
Well, entrepreneurship, innovations are the two important ingredients of upward mobility.
Absolutely. And I think that's the only way this country and the world is going to get out of this recession.
No question about that. Well, thank you very much for coming to our show.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that very much. That is our show. Until next time, this is Frank Islam from FY Investment Group wishing you a great week. Thank you for watching.